I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there's a pair of us. Don't tell. How dreary to be somebody, how public like a frog, to tell your name the livelong day to an admiring bog. That's a famous poem by Emily Dickinson, and when I was a kid I had to memorize one poem every week of my life from about 4th grade through 12th. My name is Linda Farley Robillard. I am 71 and a half. I have lived in Norman 42 years. I have basically sold real estate 41 of those years, but I've been blind 10. I've had MS that I know about 8 of those years, so there aren't too many blind realtors driving up and down the street, so I do what I can still do at home and on the computer and the telephone. I've watched Norman change, but I've done a lot to help it change positively, and I'm proud of that. I've raised 3 daughters here. They're all successful, contributing people, and when I think about the American dream, I think I accomplished it, but it was not a big dream. It was the dream that I had on an ongoing basis for myself, making the world locally or nationally a little bit better, being politically active, doing what I could to register people to vote, because I think the vote is critical. The American dream, as it is been painted by the media, is not just enough. I moved here in '69, and in '68, I think, is when Dr. Henderson bought his property. My husband was on the faculty at the Postal, what was then the precursor of the Postal Training Institute. Through him, I became friendly with a incoming black postal executive. And then I met his wife and got friendly with her. They were good friends, and they wanted to buy a house, so we couldn't find any house that was good enough for them. No, they didn't have rich taste, they had good taste, and they had the ability to pay. So I decided that we should build a house for them. And I took them out to Blue Creek Estates, which is about 5 miles east of Norman, to look at a lot, because I had one listed out there and I thought it was perfect for them. And I got back to my office downtown Norman, and the phone rang in about 15 minutes, and it was a neighbor who was also a client of mine. And he asked me if I had been out showing it. I said yes. He said, well, I want you to know that lot is not for sale anymore. I said, why? It was 15 minutes ago. He said, well, the neighbors have banded together and they bought it. It's off the market. I was shocked. And I told my boss about it later, and much to my chagrin, he said, Linda, you should have told me sooner. I could have told you that would happen. Well, I had never encountered prejudice in my life. Actually, I didn't know anything about it until I came to the Southwest. I was in East Texas. I was married 3 weeks, and I wanted to do my laundry. And I had the laundry all in a bag over my shoulder, and I was approaching the washateria. Had this sign on the window. I kept adjusting my glasses, looking. I didn't believe what it said. It said whites only. This was in October '62. And I went in, and there was this man scrubbing down the machines. I said, excuse me, sir, can I ask you, what is different about your washing machines that I cannot wash my husband's black socks? And I'm ashamed to say he laughed. I later found out why he was laughing. But that was the first sign that I ever seen. I just was not raised that way. I was the first Yankee to be successful in real estate here. And I was kind of liberal and marched to the beat of a different drummer. and got very involved in the community. I had clients who founded the Women's Resource Center, and I early on got involved in that, raising money to help us stay open. And then about 5 years after it was open, I helped them establish the first shelter for domestic violence. A couple of years ago, they asked me to get back on the board, and I thought, what are you going to do with a blind lady in a wheelchair on your board? I have since found out why they asked me. They wanted my business mind. They needed that kind of mind on the board, and we've since added a financial planner and an attorney and a policeman. It's wonderful. I'm glad I accepted that because it got me out of myself and back into the community. Since then, I've gone on, I go to all the Human Rights Commission meetings, and I'll do anything to fight for a cause. What I tell people is, be careful, you might see me nude on a white horse on Main Street, marching for something. I love still being involved in the community. I love having the wisdom of age, but the curiosity of a kid.